Hey guys, it's getting real with the Cockney Buddha. Seems like there's a lot of trauma out there lately that I'm hearing about. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. And at the end of this, I think we'll do a little bit of breath work. So stay tuned to the end, guys, because that little bit of breath work could help you out. And make sure you're not using any heavy machinery or driving or anything like that when you listen to it, because that wouldn't be cool. So go over there to my YouTube too and check that out. Check the channel out. Go subscribe. Give me a like. Pass it around. Let's get the message out there. Want to build this community of positive-minded and people going out there on their journeys. So if you have any kind of trauma, guys, which I think every single person out there doesn't get away with not having trauma. Grab yourself a cup of tea, sit down, tune in. And like I say, I wanted this episode to be about about the trauma. And if you look at the YouTube that I dropped this morning, it was about those suffering moments that we go through throughout the day. The smaller sufferings that we can take care of and not even think about, like, well, it's not worth it. Put it that way. It's not worth us getting bent out of shape over something that's happening, because otherwise we end up in trauma. We can hold on to that for hours. And I mentioned about, maybe a car cutting in front of you in traffic, or somebody cutting you in line at a supermarket or a shop or something like that. And, we can get right bent out of shape over that, and it really ain't worth it, because we're the ones that's going to carry that trauma, and those guys don't know what's going on. You may throw some hand signs out the window and shout and scream, but you know what? You're the one that's in a lot of more trauma than they are. So, but go and have a look at my YouTube on that one. But I'm hearing a lot about different traumas out there lately. And some of those are those things that we know are happening. We can't control it, but we try our best to try and control it and push it away. And, in Buddhism, it's about acceptance. It's about suffering. And that's what the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path is all about. The Four Noble Truths is about suffering. Fourth Noble Truth sends you to the Eightfold Path, and that's the teachings, the Dharma of what you can do with suffering. And I'm reading a really good book right now, and I'm probably going to mess her name up, and I apologise for that. But a book by Pema Chödrön, and I know I've got that wrong. Pema, and then surname Chodron, and it's called Welcoming the Unwelcome. It's a great book, guys. Near the end of it, one of my things I wanted to do this year was actually read more and get more into my reading, because I've got a bunch of books lined up, really good books, all to do with the mind, of course, because this is actually a hobby and my profession, and I absolutely love doing it. But it's being in touch with what you can do and being aware, having an awareness that something is actually happening is the first thing. And when they asked the Buddha to sum up the Dharma, the teachings, in a word, and he said awareness, which if you think about it, if you become aware instead of walking around like robots, right? If we become aware, then we can tune into it and start to place some structure around these things as well. What we can do and what we can't do. Those things that are happening that we can't do anything about. The first thing is having the awareness that we're trying to push it away. Which, whenever we try and push something away that we can't control, and it's there happening, it can get louder because we're tuning into the negatives of I don't want this, and what is it we're pushing away for? We're pushing away because of the feelings that we're having, the emotions that we're having, which are all those, I'm not going to say negative emotions because emotions are emotions. But, when we go into sadness and resentments and angers and, it brings that energy down because it doesn't push the positive side of the energy. So it pulls the energy down. So whenever we get into something, we try and push it, we try and push it away. We're actually tuning in more and more and more to those emotions because those are the things that we don't want to feel. And the best thing is accept, tune in through meditation, etc. There's different things you can do, and allow, and being in touch with those emotions. And if you do it through meditation, have a pad and a pen right there, and then once you start to realize what those emotions are, start writing them down, because it allows you to see at that point. You may be feeling it, but you can't see it. It's not live. There's nothing there. There's nothing tangible there that you can actually see. But when you actually write things out, you can see it. It's right there. And the things that we can do things about, which one of the things that we seem to turn our back on is the things that work. And that, again, comes down to breath work, meditation, getting out, doing exercise, getting outside, even just sitting outside and just being in nature. Sometimes I'll grab my book and I'll take a chair and just sit outside, and I'll sit and read outside, and it's so much better because you're around nature. If the sun's out, you're getting that vitamin D, so you're gaining a lot from that. But just getting outside. This morning I woke up, the old mind was ticking, and I laid in bed for a little bit, but the old mind was going, so all that does is just spirals and snowballs to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And the old mind was saying, don't go out, just stay in bed, and what's that going to do? It's not going to do me any good. But if we push and do the things, become aware of what works, and do those things, like I got my shoes on and I went out and went for a walk, and I threw the old headphones on and I was listening to Jay Shetty podcast, which, if you don't know who Jay Shetty is, go and follow him. Great guy. He's got some great interviews on YouTube. He's been interviewed himself. He's got a really good book out there that I'm going to be reading. Great guy, and he interviews a lot of good people, and it's all based around mental health and helping yourself. And I just listened to one with a fella that was all about the blue zones. There's some blue zones in the world where people live from up to 100 plus, and there's reasons for that. And one of them is reducing stress. But it's one of those things. I wasn't feeling it, but it was a matter of getting myself out there and doing it and making it happen. And then I felt better. I got back in, I made up my shake, and then my wife, I think I've said this before, my wife got me one of these water bottles for Christmas that actually puts more hydrogen into the water. And I did myself one of those and felt better. Did feel better than when I was laying in bed. Let me put it that way. And it got me onto something. I could do something about it. I knew I could do something about it. But a lot of people, they don't. They will stay in that program and they will stay in bed. And trust me, guys, I'm human. I've done it. But I prefer to choose the alternative, which is throw the shoes on, get out. Get around people even. Yeah, call a friend, talk to somebody. You know, if you're in therapy, make sure you turn up to your sessions. Get to your sessions, because sometimes you can even do that and be, I can't be bothered. And, it's not going to do you any favours, guys. It's not pushing you in the right direction. Doing the things that makes us uncomfortable is what gets us on a different level. It pushes us through. It gets us in a position of being more into that positive energy. So the things we can't do anything about, that trauma, it's a matter of, and it ain't, I'm not saying this is easy by any means, guys. I really ain't, because it's not easy. It's a practice. It takes a lot of practice. And I've been deep into all this for a while, and this has only just started to be able to be a thing that I've been able to look at and start doing, and accepting those things, accepting even the people that you can't change. There may be somebody that, you could give advice to, or they could ask for your advice about something, and you give them that advice, but if they don't take it, there's no point in trying to keep pushing it. Because what can you do? That person is going to do whatever they're going to do. Even if it comes down to they're going in the wrong direction. If someone asks me for my opinions and I give my opinions, then that's up to that person whether they take it or not. But when we look at ourselves, yes, it gets frustrating, because if we happen to love that person, or it's a friend or something like that, yeah, we get frustrated with it, because we're like, hey, listen, your mind's telling you yourself, if you do this, this will work, this will help you. But it's down to the individual, guys. And that's the things that we can't do anything about. So that's when we tune in and go, okay, that's when we got to pause, give space, because keep pushing then causes us suffering. It doesn't put us in a good frame of mind. And then there's a lot of different things that people are going through out there right now, yeah, that I hear about. I'm not going to go through them, but that accepting what you cannot change, and also being aware of those things that you can. And, I'm always big on meditation. I push meditation like crazy. I really do, and breath work, because that will help in all different kinds of situations, even those things that we can't change. And that acceptance comes into play, because it allows us to tune in. It allows that thinking to come, but it allows us to not react. It's when we react to the thinking that we got a problem, because then your emotion's going to join in, and then you got a problem. Then you got a spiraling problem. But meditation, done. It's a practice, guys. Yeah. If you're on medications or anything like that, you don't think twice about getting up in the morning and popping your medication, right? So give yourself that time to meditate. It's better than medicine, guys. I find myself, I regularly meditate. I miss here and there, which if you do miss, don't beat yourself up. Don't think you've failed. Don't think you've done something wrong, because you haven't. Be aware. Bring yourself back, because that's the things that you can do. Yeah. Meditation, to me, is very, very, very important to me. Really important to me. It's part of the journey. 15 to 20 minutes for that foundation meditation, guys. Normally in the morning, if you can get it done in the morning. If you have to get up that little bit earlier, get up that little bit earlier, get that meditation done. Get that foundation going. And then if you have to meditate, I shouldn't say have to, if you choose to meditate throughout the day, which I have done, then you can do 5 minutes here, I've even done a couple of minutes with just breath work and closing my eyes and just doing some breath work. And it helps, guys. I have my guys set up their phones to go off, or their watches or whatever, alarm, something, to remind them, like either on the hour or every couple of hours, however they want to space it out, to just say tune in or meditate or calm or breathe or whatever, just to have them all of a sudden just become present with what they're doing, what's happening in that moment, tuning into those emotions that may be cropping up. If you have to get them down and write them down, then that's a great thing to do. Carry a little pad with you. I read an article once about someone that actually carries a little pad in their pocket. Excuse me. A little pad in their pocket. And whenever they've got something either going on or even an idea, they'll grab that pad and write it down. Because even when you have those good ideas, guys, it's like, oh no, I've done it. Like, it always seems to come at the craziest times with me, like early morning, right? I wake up and I've got this idea and I'll be like, oh no, I ain't going to remember it in the morning. And I probably don't. But, if you've got like a recorder or something that you can just be like, hey, bum, 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 boom. Now it's out of your mind. Or you write it down on a bit of a pad. Now it's out of your mind. Now you're not stressing. You're not in that suffering. Because you've used a tool to help you. So I hope everybody's okay out there. I know there's a lot going on out there with some of you guys. I really do. And I feel you. I hear stories and, I hear from people and I feel you. I really do. I really do feel you guys. And some things, everybody has their shit, right? The one thing to not say is, oh, someone's got it worse. Yeah, someone's always got it worse then. Always. Always. So, your shit is your shit. I made that, I wouldn't say a mistake, but I did that a few years ago in front of my therapist, and she says, whoa, hold up a minute. Because I said that. Oh, yeah, but someone's got it worse than me. And she goes, so does that make yours smaller? Does it? Does that make your issue smaller? I don't think so, because it's still there, right? It doesn't all of a sudden just out of your head and it's gone. It's still an issue. It's still there. And that's why I always say, get yourself into talking to someone, get yourself into a therapist or, somebody that you can talk to. I do this for a living and I see the results of it. And I also go to therapy. I've been going for the past few years. And it works, guys. It helps. Don't be afraid of it. And if you're not liking the person that you're sitting with, then move on. Find someone that you can relate to. Find someone that you can, that you're working with. That now, it's no good going in there and talking about your favourite hobbies, even though that comes up, of course. Sometimes that can be a session. But if you're not digging and finding out what the issues are going on within your own mind, and wanting to commit to change, because it's a commitment on your side. It's a big commitment because it's a matter of wanting to shift your life for the better. Shifting your mind, shifting your life, starting a journey, starting that journey of growth. And it's not linear. It's going to go up and down, but as long as you're gradually creeping up there and you're going up, you're winning. So I'd like to do a little breath work right now, guys. And I've got a little background music that the 30-year-old Grom gave me. And I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to play the music at the beginning, and then we'll see where it goes. But I want you to just, like I say, don't be driving, don't be doing machinery or anything where you can get hurt. It's not worth that. If you have to come back to this or skip it or whatever you need to do, then do so, because I'm not responsible for anybody hurting themselves, not from doing this, okay? So just relax your body. And if you're sitting in a chair, just close your eyes. This is only for a couple of minutes, so just close your eyes. And I just want you to just start concentrating on your breathing. So as you start to slow that breath down and bring the mind to the breath. Pulling that air in through the nose, filling the belly up with air, pushing the belly out, allowing the diaphragm to expand and taking that air and just all the way in, guys, coming up into the chest, filling the different areas of the cavities of the chest and the body, and the like you're trying to pull that air right up into your clavicles, right up into towards your shoulders. And just becoming aware of that breath, slowing it down, allowing the breath to be there. No breath, no life, guys. And just allowing that breath to just go up through the nose, feeling it go down the throat, coolness to the throat. And then as it comes up, there's a little bit more warmth to it. And as that thinking comes in, because it will, just tell yourself, I'm thinking. Let the mind know that you're actually thinking. And don't connect with it. And just allow that breath to just to go by, and allow that breath to just ease it away. As you breathe out, see it drift away. Don't connect. Keep pulling that mind back to the breath. Keeping that breath nice and steady, nice and slow. And then when you get to that top of that breath, just pause at the top for a couple of seconds, guys. Just for a couple of seconds at the top of the breath. And then allowing that breath to release out through the nose with no effort. Allowing that belly button to come back towards the backbone. And then as you get to the bottom of the breath, just pause again. Suspend the breath. Couple of seconds. And then reversing that breath and just becoming aware of the transition between the breath coming in and the breath going out. And then if you pick a spot, a little pinhead spot, right underneath the nostrils and above that top lip there, right in that little crevice there that's underneath your nose. Just pick a spot right there. And then as you're breathing in through the nose, feel that air just whipping through that area before it goes into the nostrils. The coolness and then the warmth on the way out. And just allow it to be. Any thinking? I'm thinking. And allow it to drift. Allow it to go. Don't attach to the thinking. And don't beat yourself up when you catch yourself thinking, because your mind will drift. And it drifts a lot in the beginning of meditations until you've been meditating for a while, and you start to realize that it's just thinking and you're good. It gets a little less. It spaces out more. And just bring that mind straight to that area, right underneath the nose, right above that top lip. Feeling the belly all the way up through the diaphragm, all the way up into the chest, trying to fill in right underneath those clavicles, pulling it right up, allowing the elbows to drop, allowing the shoulders to drop, and allow the body just to be in a relaxed state. Slower the breath. calmer the mind. And then the calmer and more relaxed the body. And in a moment, I'm going to step you up out of it. I'm going to count to 3 and have you come up out of the meditation. More relaxed, more calm. Just going a little deeper now, guys. Taking a nice, long, deep breath. Hold it at the top. And then release down through the nose, all the way, bringing that belly button all the way back. Do that one more time. Suspend at the top. And release it out, allowing it to just drift away. Any thinking, any tension, allow it to leave. On 1, 2, wiggling the fingers and the toes, coming back into your room or wherever you may be, and just allowing the body to come back. And slowly on 3, blink the eyes open, nice and relaxed, feeling calm. I hope you're feeling calmer, guys. I hope this helps with some of your traumas out there. Give me some feedback, yeah? And you can always email me at mindnutritionforall@gmail.com. You can always email me as well. Go and check out my YouTube, like I say. And those sounds that was in the meditation there was from 30-year-old Grom. He kindly did that for me. Go and check his channel out, 30-year-old Grom. Go and check it out. The guy likes to do the old sounds. You can see him doing some of that. He's getting back into it now. But thank you. I call him the Gromster. Thank you for sending that over to me. And I hope everybody has a good evening, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate every one of you. Much love, guys.